see how to design a logo like this one. Okay, this is a construction logo from a construction company by name Alpha Kings Construction. Okay, this logo was commanded by one of our clients in which we designed the logo for him, and I also have to make this mock-up. So mock-ups are just like a type of presenting your work, okay, when you are done with it completely, so as to attract and to get the client's attention more very fast and easily. Alright, so now we are going to start with this design. Okay, looking at this design, the first thing that comes to your mind is that we have just two elements which are present here, which make this design look so outstanding and very special of its own type. So which the design, the elements are what we have, just need the lion and the letter A. Okay, so now let's move into work. So now to do this logo, to design this logo, what we just need is what we need is just our pixellab application, which is a mobile application which is used for graphic design, and it is a free version software available on Google Play Store and Apple Store. Okay, so you can just go there to download one. So when you get it, if you launch our application, okay, so once you launch your application, but the first ever thing that is always here on the screen is this default text. Okay, so you can get away of it and make sure that you do your page setting. Okay, you set the work area, the size in which you are working on. So you need to know the size in which you are working on, which actually this is a logo. I'll be working on a square. Okay, I'll be working on a square. Or if you don't want to select the square, there you can just give the square is maybe 2 by 2, 3 by 3, 5 by 5. Okay, so whatsoever that you give. Alright, so that is our square shape that we are going to be working on it. So the next thing that I'm going to do here is to make sure that I give the text in which we are going to be using. Okay, the letter E will define the alpha, which will stand for the alpha. Okay, please, if you are just new in this channel, consider to give us a thumbs up, drop a comment, tell us where you are watching from, and the type of design that, or the type of thing, anything that you want us to make a tutorials there for you. Is it a birthday flyer or whatsoever? Okay, just drop your comments, so we'll read the comments and we'll be working back on it. So after we have inserted our letter A, the next thing to do now is to make sure that we come to the text editing option, okay, which is this letter A, which is always down here. So I click on the text editing option. Now we are going to the font to change the font to be the font in which we'll be working on it with it. Alright, so the font that I'm going to be using here is a Amaran Bull, the Amaran Bull font. Alright, so we'll get this is one of the default font that comes with this application. So we are done with this one, but actually not completely done. We need to still do something here, which is what we need to do is to convert this particular letter A that we just inserted into a shape. So to convert into a shape, I'll just go and take insert shape. I can insert any type of a shape here. Alright, so when I just take OK, then I can move it and place on it. Now I come to our shape managing options, okay, where we can manage the layers managing option. Now I'll merge all the tools now to make it. Now this letter A is not still a text, now it is a shape. Okay, now this is now a shape. So even on the text editing option here, you see that you don't still have anything, but if I click on the shapes editing option, you see the options are going to come up. Okay, so that is the first thing there. And the next thing is to convert this letter A now into a black. We need to give it a black color. Okay, now I make sure that I position it at the center. Alright, so now I can go now to bring in the lion. Alright, so if you need this particular anything here, like the material, for example, like this lion that I'm going to insert, you can just drop a comment. Okay, I need it, I'm going to send it to you. Alright, I'm just going to send it to you so that you can also use it for your design. Okay, so now looking at this lion that we are going to be using here, so let me just give it something like the white color. Alright, I'll just give you the white color, so that we can really see very well what we are working on. So now I'm going to first increase the size a little bit. I increase the size, then I take it back, then it is also going to be a little bit down, so I can still increase the size a little bit, but also you can reduce the size of this letter to make sure that everything really fits very well, because in case anything goes out of this design, once we match it and we want to work on it to complete that, you see that nothing, maybe some parts of our work are going to be missing. Okay, so now we need to make sure that everything is well positioned here. Okay, at this junction, when everything has been well done, now we need to return back the color to black. Okay, we need to return back the color to black, the outline to this the line that we just added here. So we give now stroke. Now when we turn on the stroke, automatically it comes to white. But if yours doesn't come on white, make sure that it will give it white, and you can now increase the stroke. Okay, you can now increase the stroke to like maybe something. Let's just give it 10. Okay, we can give it 10, but I think this is much. Let's just keep the stroke at 8. Okay, now when we keep the stroke at 8, now the next thing that we are going to do here is that we need a triangle. All right, we need a triangle, so I will reduce the opacity here. I will reduce the opacity of this layer. Right, we have the lions there. Okay, when I reduce the opacity here, you see this where we have the inside the letter A. Okay, where we have this something like a triangle. So I'll go now to add shapes now. We'll bring the triangle. Okay, add shapes, then I'll come here. I believe that by now those of you that follow me everything must know here. You come here now, then you get this triangle. Okay, you get this triangle. So now when we get the triangle, now we just need to reduce it and replace it. The reason that we are reducing the size of the triangle, we reduce this opacity so that we can see. Okay, so that we can really see very well whatever we are doing. So assuming that this is okay here, assuming that this is okay here, now we can now click back on this layer. Okay, come here, click on this layer, then we increase back the opacity. We increase the opacity. So once the opacity is increased, that means I need to move this line. That is one step in front. Okay, so this is not okay. Is we are set to go here now. I just come back here, so you see this logo just comprises of 3 layers only. It's not even complicated logo. So we just click here. Now a layer management option. Okay, this is where if you want to manage your layers, because you just come here inside here. When you click here, you see that you have here like something like this is what you have. Like this is the first layer here, this is the second layer here, and this is the third layer. Okay, so now when you click and come there, the next thing is that you need to come here now to activate selections. Okay, so this selection, so I can now select 1, 2, 3. Then the next thing is to make sure that we do the matching. We do the matching of the layers. Okay, by clicking on this option here. So when we click here now on this option, now we take OK to do the matching. So now everything here is acting like one. So the next thing that I'm going to do here is to go to my erase. Okay, erase color. So when I click on erase color, it is going to erase, and we are going to layer cap. When you erase, then you can increase the tolerance. Okay, you can equally increase the tolerance of this particular, so the tolerance, so that all the white parts should be completely taken off. So now what you see that we are left here, we are left with nothing but just the logo in which I first showed you when at the beginning of this design. The next thing here is just that you can apply your color. The color here is just simply means the background in which you want your logo to stand on. Okay, and also you can also change the color of the logo itself. Okay, you can change the color of this logo itself. by giving it, let's say that a red color like the one that you first see before. Okay, this is the idea. Let me put it on the dark red color now, and maybe if you give it some shadow also. Okay, this is just all about this particular logo. As you can see, we are already done with it, and now we are just like dusting up the work to make it somehow look so gray, and at this particular point it is ready for consumption. There's nothing that is still too much left on this logo that we still need to do before it should be okay for consumption. Okay, so this is just all about this logo, and now the next thing is you can just give it a name. For instance, I can reduce the size here, then I keep it. I just give it a name like the company that requested for this logo is the Alpha Kings. Okay, the Alpha Kings Construction. The Alpha Kings, I can just keep the Alpha Kings here. Then I give it, so I increase the size. Then I also work on this, like giving it font. Okay, in my next video I'm going to be teaching you how to install the font size, the font, like your own personal font. Like here you see I have my own personal fonts that I'm using. But so now let's continue using the default font that comes with the application. Okay, so that it doesn't bring any complication. So now I'll use this canvadesign to put this alpha. Then the color there should be black. Okay, the color there I can use the black color, or this one. Yes, I can use this color, the Alpha Kings. Okay, then the other side I'll put construction, and I can just copy it, and I give now, then I'll just edit it and I'll put the construction there. Construction. Okay, so now you can now just change the font color. Also, if you want to change the font color here, it depends on you, or the font type. Also, you can also change the font type, maybe to be something like this one, just to make your design have something not really too simple. Just change the font to that. Then maybe I'll give it now the font color. Now the font color that I'll be using for this other one should be maybe a dark red as well. Okay, so this is all about this logo. The next thing is just to make sure that you can now save this logo. First thing, make sure that you save it as a project. Okay, because there may be error, the customer may return to you with some errors for you to correct. So I'll just save it as Alpha Kings. Okay, when I save the Alpha King, now the next thing is to save it as an image. So now, given that I have to do the mockup of this image, first thing that I need to do is to make sure that I give it no background before I save. Now I'm saving as PNG. Okay, I'm saving here as image, but as what PNG. This is the image format here, PNG. In my introduction video I mentioned about PNG. Okay, so now I'm going to save it as PNG here, then I take save. Okay, I take save. Assuming that we are done and dusted with it, I need now to return to my default. Then on my default now, I'm going to make sure that I bring a background. Okay, on my background options now, I'm going to bring a background in which we'll be using. I need to bring a background that we can use to make up to do this mockup. Okay, so at times we can go and download the background. At times you can use these ones that are provided by the Pixellab application itself. But now I'll prefer to go and bring my own background that I have downloaded. So I'm going to go inside my gallery, then I'll go to where I have my background, then I have to import my background. Okay, so here this is my background that I'm going to be using to do the mock-up of that particular logo. So I'll just import the logo now, and I'll take now from gallery. Then when I'll come here, I'll get my logo. Then I'll just crop it. I'll crop from here, I'll crop from there to make sure that everything comes and fit very well. Okay, so now this is the logo now. So how did we do the cropping, the mock-up? This is one of the new things that you are going to be hearing today. Okay, so maybe throughout your journey on graphic design you haven't heard about mock-up. So now when we just put this logo now, I will position it in such a way that everything is going to be okay, but I'll give it a certain type of little bit of design there. Now we'll come back here to the shapes editing option. Okay, let's see, we are going to like fill it now, not with just this simple color, but we are going to take now on texture color. Okay, on texture color. So inside of the texture, this is my own texture that I want to use. So now after that, the next thing is now you give it a shadow. Okay, I always prefer using the dark shadow, but it depends on each and every individual. But the dark shadow is always the best, because we know that by default a shadow should be dark. All right, that is what we know by default. The shadow should be dark, so we can give it some shadow. And this is how you see I'll balance my x and the y axis. If the x, when you want to give a shadow, always make sure that if the x axis is like 7, okay, then the y axis should be like 5, to make sure that everything balances very well. So if you give a shadow, the x axis is like 10 and the y axis is like maybe a negative, like maybe 7, you will really obstruct it. So if I give one positive, I can give one negative. I can also put this one on -6, so that everything really stands well. All right, the next thing is the inner shadow. I can also give in an inner shadow of a white, so that it really also, then we can now also work on the blurriness of the white, so that it should not really be that much. Okay, it should not really be that much, so it's okay there. So here no need to work. You can also touch the x and the y axis, but if depends on you how you want your logo to look like, or your mock-up to look like. Okay, so that is how you are seeing it happening there. So I can keep this one here, then I take okay, then I go to emboss, then I go to 3D. We are going to 3D. I give it to enable my 3D, then I will do this depth to 1. Okay, I'll reduce this depth to 1, then I'll just do some darkening, 3D darkening, then we'll give some 3D rotation also, because this is one of the things that will really make our work to look really good. Okay, so we can also give some 3D rotation here, rotate the x and the y axis, and you see, so that is just how everything got there. Now we choose the direction of the sun here. What direction did our light should be coming in? Maybe at 45. So shadow, we increase it, and that is just it about this particular mock-up. Okay, so now look at your mock-up. It really gives so much realness about the logo and makes everything look very, very warm and very, very cool. So if you like this our work, just drop a comment and tell us where you are watching from. If you are new here, don't forget to turn on the subscribe, to touch the subscribe button, like and comment, so that we also notice about you. Then you also make sure that you turn on your notification button, so that you can be notified whenever we drop any new video. Okay, so like I said, in our next video we are going to be teaching you how to insert, how to upgrade your own text, okay, your own font, so that you don't have any issue again when dealing with fonts. Okay, so that is just how it works here. All right, so now we are done with this particular design, and it's just left for us to save it and use it whensoever we want to use. Okay, so this is what you can now take to your social media handle to post it there to attract other new customers. Okay, so that when customers come in, they see your work and they even know that okay, you've been doing something. All right, see you in our next video.